Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video about how I got my start as a digital nomad. So this is kind of going to be my story for the past 2 years and how I made that initial jump from full-time office work to living online and traveling the world full-time. So I come from a family of entrepreneurs and I've always known that I wasn't really destined for the workplace. I have a degree in business, so I certainly toyed with the idea of working in an office, and I have done that on internships and that kind of thing. And actually I do really enjoy it, being surrounded by people, that kind of stuff. But I knew that I wanted to run my own business really, so I always kind of had my ear to the ground for an opportunity that would present. As soon as I graduated, one of my best friends and I started a secondhand charity shop startup. We were kind of experimenting with selling secondhand clothes on university campuses for charity, and it was working really well, but it was very labor intensive. We were constantly like setting up market stalls and traveling around the country. So we moved on from that and I got a job full-time at a charity near to me where they let me be kind of a charity shop consultant interior designer. I was technically freelance, but I was in the office 5 days a week. And what they let me do was rip apart their charity shops and redo them with this whole new amazing Pinterest design using local builders who were volunteering and painters and the general public. And it was a really amazing opportunity and kind of my dream job. They weren't recruiting, I just designed my dream job and emailed charities until one of them let me do it. So I really enjoyed that. But at the same time, my then boyfriend and now fiance Ed was an app developer, so he was doing coding and building his own stuff. He was living in London and it was really expensive and rainy, and he and his friend decided to move to Estonia to kind of get a bit of sunshine, save a bit of money, and they really enjoyed it. And we soon discovered that that was called being a digital nomad, where you just take your business abroad and you just run it from your laptop. So then we started looking into it and he decided that next he wanted to go to Thailand, and did I want to come? So obviously I did. So I quit my job at the charity, which was a really hard decision, but I think I was ready for a new challenge, and we moved to Thailand together. I didn't have a plan and I didn't have any skills as far as I knew. I thought there's nothing I can do that I can sell, but what I did have was savings. So I didn't move out completely blind. I had actually about £10,000 of savings. So I knew that I could live in Thailand for probably a year off of that money, especially because we're a couple, so we were sharing rent, so probably even longer than a year, but I was estimating about £1,000 a month to live very comfortably. So I was thinking I would go there and find something to do, and I knew an opportunity would present itself, but I might have to live off my savings for a while. And what actually happened is after about a week, I met someone who was going to help me to build a full-time income online. What I did when we moved to Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is kind of the global hub for digital nomads, that's the place where everybody gets their start, and it's a really amazing place to start because there are so many nomads and everyone's very open about telling you what they're earning and how, and helping you kind of get on the road to starting your own nomad career. So I just fully immersed myself. I spoke to everyone I could and asked them what they were doing for money and how much money they made and how easy it was and whether I had the skills and how much training you need before you can get started. And I very quickly honed in on this awesome girl I met called Larissa. Massive shout out to her because she changed my life. And she was doing Udemy courses, and she said to me, "You could totally do a Udemy course." And I was like, oh no, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just, you know, I'm only 25, I don't know anything. And she said, you have amazing style, you have a fashion blog, you're really into fashion. Why don't together we do a course about how to be your own personal stylist, just how for real women to feel their best every day. And I said, like, okay, we could film that together. So we made a course together, we edited it together, she taught me everything I needed to know about how to upload to Udemy, all the kind of criteria you have to fulfill, and that was it. I was hooked. I started making a bunch of courses on my own, and then when I ran out of things to teach, I started finding other people who wanted to be on Udemy, and I became their collaborator. So they would be the teacher, but I would film them. So I had the equipment, then I would do the editing, and I would upload to Udemy, and then we split the money. So I now have at least 20 courses, I suppose, and it's become my full-time income. And the cool thing about Udemy is that it is passive income, so it makes money on its own. Of course, creating new courses is very time consuming, but once it's made, you don't have to do anything. If you want, you can promote the courses, do Facebook ads, get lots of sales that way, but if you don't, you can just let Udemy sell it for you and you make less, but it's much easier. What I've chosen to do is have Udemy as full-time online passive, and then I have time in the days to do kind of active work. So I'm doing a bit of freelancing. My fiance and I have a few startups together. I do freelance PR. I write as a journalist for a newspaper back in the UK. And I do a kind of whole mixture of things. I'm very big on diversifying your income. If Udemy was to close down tomorrow, currently I would be in a bit of trouble. So I obviously still have my savings because I didn't use them when I moved to Thailand because I met Larissa straight away, but I wouldn't have much of an income coming in. So at the moment I'm trying to build up a whole bunch of different income streams, some passive, some active, that I can live off. If one of them falls down, the others will still hold up. So in total, it has been about 2 years now, maybe slightly more at this point, and we have been to about 20 countries. We stay in most places for 1 or 2 months, and we're actually now in Santiago for 6 months on the Startup Chile program. But we also sometimes just go somewhere for a week or two on holiday. So we've been to a whole bunch of different places, and it's been a really, really amazing journey. I can't rave about being a nomad enough, really. There are definitely downsides, and I'm going to be doing videos on the downsides, and I've already done one about what it's really like to be a nomad, kind of behind the Instagram. But I absolutely love it. It has changed my life, and I don't know how I'm going to quit one day to live in one solid country, maybe have children and kind of be stationary, but I'm sure that day will come. For now, I'm absolutely loving living online. My fiance and I get to spend 24/7 together because we're not away at offices working separately. We work really long hours, but we also have a lot of flexibility, so I totally love it. And I would recommend that if you would like to know more about being a digital nomad, subscribe to this channel and you will get a very honest, truthful view into what it's really like. There's a whole mixture of stuff out there with people who are making it look better than it is or worse than it is, and if you subscribe to this channel you will just get a 100% honest look into what it's really like. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope it's been interesting for you to find out how I got my start, and please comment below if you're thinking of starting, or if you're already an established nomad, what you did to get started. And again, thank you so much to Larissa for being my guiding angel in the nomad world and helping me get started. It has honestly changed my life. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.